All right, we would like to make some bar graphs on this data now, including a bar graph on two different characteristics. I do not want to use my original data. I want to keep it, so I'm going to copy it and I'm going to move it over here to a blank sheet so that if somehow I accidentally delete it or mess it up, I will still have my original over on my sheet 1. Now, I would like to figure out the favorite seasons. So I'm going to sort my data on season. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to keep this with it because I want this male who likes winter and is 19 years old and his favorite color is green and weighs 154 pounds. I want all that data to stay with him. So I am going to highlight all of the data, come over here and do a custom sort. And I am going to do the custom sort on favorite season. I have this other one here that I don't need, so I'm going to delete it. And it puts the favorite seasons in order. So now I can choose fall, spring, summer, and winter. I can put them in order, any order I would like, just because it's put them in alphabetical order here. I might prefer to do fall, spring, summer, and then fall, and then winter. I might like to put them in order that they come. You might like to put winter first, however you want to do it. So now I can count how many spring people there are by highlighting them. Notice when I highlight them up here in the corner, this number will actually count them. Now, if you have a whole lot and you're scrolling down like, 50, 60 of these, then the number sometimes comes down at the bottom. See how it's scrolling down there at the bottom. So if you have a lot of them, that actually follows you rather than it's just up here. But I think even then when you start it, it starts up here. All right, so look how many springs we have. We have 4 springs. How many summers do we have? It looks like we have 4 summers. How many falls? It looks like we have 3 falls. Well, look at all these winters we have. We have 6 winters. So now we can highlight our data with the frequency and the favorite season of the year. I'm going to come up here to insert, and I'm going to choose a bar chart, and I have a lot of choices. I can do a vertical one, and notice how it does your little preview down there. These stacked ones are possibilities, but we usually use it when we're doing 2 things. So far, we're just looking at 1. So we can do a 3D kind of effect. We can do the sidebars, however we would like to do it. So let's kind of pick a 3D effect here. And I can put my title. So notice all you can do is just click on it, and then you can highlight it and put in your title. So I'm going to put in favorite season. And then I have these bars. I can double click and I get some options over here. Sorry, I kind of moved out of it. So I can do some options of coloring these squares. I have blue chosen right here. I can change to a different color. I can pick gradient. So notice how it's softer at the top. You can do them solid. You can have them empty. That seems kind of strange. You can do the different ones. You can pick a pattern. So maybe I would like something like that. If you're going to be printing this with certain printers, you can save ink by choosing these kinds of patterns and stuff. And of course, I can pick a different color for the pattern. So I can pick blues and see the different patterns. You can choose some of these shadows, blurring them, distances. You can play around with these different things and see what they have. You can make them deeper, wider. You can make them fatter and thinner, closer together. You can change their shapes. So you can pick cylinders instead of boxes. I think using the cones are a little bit strange because it indicates that the people at the top don't count as much or something. So you can play around with those little different things and use some different options there. You can have some borders around them, and you can have the borders be different colors if you want, and so on. So you can play around with that and get the different types of choices. One of these you can change, yeah, there you can change. So you can change the backgrounds and so on. If you want there to be more lines along here, you can also change that because you have up here different elements. So you can click up here and add some things. You can do it also from over here. So here you're like red lines, you can make more red lines. You can make the kind of light colored here because I have them blue. You can also put in some axes titles. So you can do that. And then over here, you would want to put frequency. And down here, you would want to put season. So you can play around and you can make some very nice looking charts with these things. Let's make our lines a little bit darker so we can see them. We could make them a different color. So yeah, you have a lot of flexibility there in making your charts. All right, what if you want to do the chart on two things? So maybe I don't want to just do everybody's spring and summer, fall, winter. I want to compare, say, the males and the females. So I'm going to do my sort again. And this time when I pick my custom sort, I am going to add a level and I'm going to sort by gender first and then by favorite season. So now I can see how many females, because this whole top part is just females, and I can put here female and males. And how many females chose spring? Right here are all the females that chose spring, and there were 3 of them. How many chose fall? There were 2 of them. How many picked summer? There were 2 of them. And how many picked winter? There were 2. And then I can do the males. There's 1 that picked fall, 1 that picked spring, 2 that picked summer, and highlighting count, 4. Notice if I total these, this is the same as what I had before. So I can actually total these by using this little auto sum. So it adds those, and then see the little square here at the bottom, I can drag that down, and that gives me the same totals I had before when I was looking at it. I don't want those, so I'm going to go ahead and erase them. Now I'm going to highlight this whole thing and insert the graph again. And now these are going to make sense because I'm either going to have 2 next to each other, 1 for the male and 1 for the female, or I can stack them up. This kind of normalizes them rather than counts them. So I don't really like that one, but this one, or I can make them 3D, or I can make them sideways or whatever. Let's pick this sideways one. And then once again, you can put in your titles. So favorite season. And notice down here, it tells me males and females. And if you wanted to change what those series are, you can do that down here and look at those and change those categories. I can come in here and I can add the axis titles. So I can come over here and do it like I did before. Oh, look, I can move the whole thing. I can stretch it out. I am going to change that to season. Come down here and say frequency. In doing it, I can change these. So I don't know, it's kind of stereotypical, but let's do it anyhow. Let's make, say, the males blue. And we'll make the females orange. You can pick more colors. So if you wanted to get a pink or something, you could. You know, if you're talking about babies, that might make sense. Maybe a little lessons here. We can make the things wider. So we can make the gap with a little smaller and make them wider. We can also, of course, make our graph bigger in this direction. So you have all those other little options that you can think about as you do them. The size, the scale, play around with those, gradient. Well, that's for the background. Must be clicked on the background. And then you can, whatever you click on is what it's going to do. So if I'm clicked on the background, that's going to change the background. If I'm clicked on the bars, notice the pink bars I'm clicked on right now, it's going to do those. So it's going to work all those different ones. So again, you can get some kind of interesting comparisons by doing these kinds of graphs that are on two different things. So like we have the season and we have the gender for this one. So it's a variety of different kinds of bar graphs you can make.